surrounding countries that currently have Ebola outbreaks.
And, like, to enforce the ban, then we have to like devote more money and equipment, like personnel to the borders to enforce border control.
And there'd also be screening or inspection for Ebola upon entering Ghana.
And that would apply to Ivory Coast as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But Ivory Coast isn't here.
Yeah,
Nor is Liberia or Sierra
Yeah,
Leone.
yeah, exactly.
so we don't really have a whole lot of representation, but I think even if they were here, even if they voted no, we'd still kind of vote them a little bit. I think that kind of would be necessary.
All right, what do we got?
So, do we? So our countries are for this. What are they? Ivory Coast and Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the only countries that we want to involve in this, or do we want to maybe bring in more countries that could be at risk?
I think we should bring in like the countries that are surrounding, like Liberia and.
Yeah, do we want to? Let's take a
You've
look
already
at a map
decided
of what the
Liberia,
bordering
right?
countries-
No. I mean the countries that aren't affected, that
Oh,
are
okay.
surrounding those other countries.
Okay.
Yeah. So do we want to let's look at a map, I guess, and kind of just figure out like what country should we involve in this?
Mali is at high risk from Guinea in terms of border crossing. So that's just countries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm thinking about Nigeria maybe too.
Yeah, Senegal has also been previously affected by Ebola.
Yeah, so let's assemble a bit of a list of like what we I guess could determine at like at risk countries. They don't really have an Ebola problem currently, but they are at risk, and we should establish some kind of guidelines for those countries, I guess.
Nigeria's not
Which
that
is like
bad.
Somalia, Chad.
So do we have Mali?
Yeah,
Nigeria's
Mali's
worse.
a big one, and then the only ones would be Guinea-Bissau and then Burkina Faso. So.
Well, with Mali, the issue is just mainly maintaining the sanctity of the border, because we've been free from Ebola for about like 50 days.
Well, yeah, I think the guidelines of the countries that are at risk, such as Mali, should definitely be much less strict. Just more. I think
Like
some kind of
precautionary.
quarantine is out of the question.
But I mean, Mali's not going to want to have people traveling into their country from Guinea.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think some kind of
But they can't because
Border
they're
control.
quarantined, right?
But that's also
Yeah.
where
refugee.
Yeah, exactly.
If
So
we're-
haven't we already addressed the problem?
if Mali doesn't want people coming in from Guinea and we're already quarantined Guinea, that should take care of Mali's worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should we include?
Well, there are
Do we even
a
need a
number
separate
there are
clause?
already a number of countries in Africa that have like, some sort of travel ban coming from people traveling from West Africa.
Yeah.
And I feel like for this one, the least strong countries on this specific travel ban is like the best.
I mean, like Mali feels really fun.
Just don't quarantine us.
Yeah, alright. Cool.
So are we gonna talk about any other countries other than the Ivory Coast and Ghana?
And should we do Guinea-Bissau or?
I don't think that.
We can just do these two, and if needed, they'll follow like kind of the same resolution.
Yeah, I mean, because we already put total travel restrictions.
Yeah, so do we need
Sure,
a separate? Do we even need
Yeah.
a separate clause? I think
No.
that's
I don't-
basically covered
Yeah.
just by the fact that no one's leaving. Means we don't have to worry about anyone entering.
And since we put all restrictions on trade between those countries, like, they're not going to be trading with them, so. Fine.
So we done?
Unless anyone has anything to add to the clause which concerns these countries.
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's like about 2 pages.
Well,
What's 2 pages? Our resolution. I know. I told you it's long. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we might wanna work
Clause
on-
6 and clause 2 can be combined. I think. So that would
Clause
actually shorten
6.
quite a bit. Clause 6 goes into a lot of the details that I'll just add into 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we may be even able to just kind of scratch a lot of the stuff in 6 just because it's so specific that we kind of don't, it's so specific that's not even completely relevant.
You can still illustrate the protocol though, if there's a general one, because a lot of these resolutions.
Yeah,
don't have
well, I mean,
protocol.
should we determine, do you think, should we determine the protocol or leave that to Unmir?
Leave it up to who?
Unmir,
If you leave it up to Unmir, then we should make sure that all of the NGOs follow the same protocol. 'Cause I feel like we have
Yeah,
a bunch
well, I
of
mean,
protocols and there's no one
yeah, I think,
standard.
yeah, I agree, I'm just saying,
But yeah,
do
we
you think
should
we
probably
should do
let-
that or should we dictate the protocols or should we let,
We
I
should
feel
let
like we should
them
let them do it because
because
they're gonna have
they
a
have
more
experience. Yeah.
experience with this
I
kind of
agree.
thing.
Okay. well,
So we can, I think we can almost just scratch 6 entirely.
Okay.
Here, I'll scratch 6. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, just
actually-
save it at the bottom in case we need
yeah,
it.
I'm just gonna cut it and
Paste it at the bottom.
I'll paste it into, I have my own little document that I'll paste it into and if we need it again, I'll put it back.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to go back to 3.
Mm-hmm.
If we have permanent people staying in, like, do we plan on having them in like every city or something, or like how is it gonna be? How does that work? Because if they're just like staying there and the government is actually corrupt, wouldn't the government just like maybe do something for the certain cities that the people will be, the volunteers will be, or whatever the people are that are staying there? Wouldn't they just like the government, if they were corrupt, they would just like make those places look better, and then other places that they're actually not in would be like the actually how it is there.
Meaning so like the treatment would be different, like bearing on the location of the country.
Yeah, because if we have a permanent person permanently staying in one place, then, like I said earlier, they wouldn't be able to like see the. Although we might have a lot of people in that one place, there's still people that are not. There's places that are still not like actually most likely going to be covered, since we would need a lot of volunteers to cover all of the 3 countries and like have constant like vision over what's happening there. I don't know if this really makes sense, but would it be?
Well, but you're not talking about the UN peacekeepers. You're just talking about like the people that are surveying the Ebola crisis, right?
The people who are like inside the country
Or checking if the money's being spent.
Yeah.
Well, oh, that committee.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're worried about if they're going to be corrupt.
not necessarily the people who are staying there, but like if the government is corrupt, wouldn't the government like just take note of where those people are staying and like make that place look good, and then other places where these people are not.
But I think the government would want help with Ebola in their country.
Yeah, I think they would invite
What if they were
help and wouldn't
saying
risk
it's
losing that
Representatives,
help.
like, they're not
Oh.
necessarily like, they don't really have much relation with the government. It's more like the specific hospitals and
Yeah, especially things like the NGOs like don't. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think that's of utmost concern, but I totally get what you're saying. I mean, like we could kind of go down like the what if road for a long time, you know. But I think generally, like these people that we employ there won't be obstructed from like seeing certain places, and if they see any like funny business going on between like, if, you know, like if one place is looking better than another, just to show us that you know they're doing well, like we get on that at our next bi-monthly meeting.
And at the end of the day, like if the number of Ebola cases don't go down, then we know that it's not working. So
Yeah,
the-
we'll reassess.
we'd have to completely reassess, yeah. In that case.
I think we should clarify, because at the bottom of the thing where it says countries that do not undergo the Ebola crisis, then Mali, Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, do we need that there, or can we remove it?
What? Way at the bottom.
Yeah,
It's in
above data.
Will they? Yeah, don't.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that.
Well,
I think that's
countries
more
in a lesser critical situation than I thought.
Well, I mean, if we're not gonna talk about like Mali and South Africa.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We should stick. Oh, you know, just make this one big resolution. Then.
Just
Well, it's a list of additions to resolution nine.
just I have a quick question about 8A.
Yeah.
Aren't they not allowed at all to enter? Isn't it more than just advised not to? Like, aren't they
Anything that we
not
can-
allowed to?
Yeah, like anything that we
Completely.
can do as a committee is not an actual like permanent action. We can just strongly suggest that things are put in place.
Okay, so should we make that
But we can
more
make it
clear
a
that
more-
we're trying to suggest like complete
Yeah.
lack of travel
Complete travel.
Instead of saying
advised not to, you know? Like, should we kind of say like recommend a stricter?
Well, if they're quarantined, aren't they not allowed to go in those countries anyway?
You don't have to put non-essential, you just say avoid travel.
Yeah, you can just say to avoid any travel.
strongly
Because that
urge to
applies to
avoid
the local residents. not-
travel of any sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
I don't, on 8B, it says essential travel may include diplomatic or official health and humanitarian persons and business travel. I think A, we can reword that, and also the business travel, I don't think we should allow.
And on 8A, it says that they're not. I can't read it. They're strongly urged to avoid travel to Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, but aren't they quarantined, so they're not allowed to travel there?
Yeah, that seems
So maybe
It's
we just
confusing.
specify that only health officials and like members of the UN are allowed to travel back and forth.
yeah. Well, didn't we specify that above? I mean, I think we can kind of complete it.
I think
I think
C
it's an
doesn't really
request
have to
that
like
you made.
say it here.
We said this. Yeah, I guess if we're quarantining Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, that 8A is a bit redundant.
Yeah, can we just get rid of 8A? Because
Yeah, I don't see the point of it.
That's we.
I mean, we already
just-
quarantined the countries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that implies.
not supposed to travel
they-
there.
they-
You want to
should
just
not
say
travel.
that in your separate document, Harris?
Yeah, here I'll cut that out and save that in the archives, I guess.